If you are over 50 and want to take care of your health with real and reliable information, subscribe to the channel right now. I publish new content every week. You take your high blood pressure medication every day. You follow your doctor's instructions. You reduce your salt intake. And yet, when you check your blood pressure levels, they're still not where they should be. This happens to millions of people over 50, and most of them never get a complete explanation as to why. Because high blood pressure after 50 rarely has just one cause. It has triggering factors, and when you don't treat those factors, medication alone can do very little. Hello, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Carter, so my main goal is to help you protect your health, preserve your independence, and enjoy the freedom that comes from feeling strong, capable, and confident at every stage of life. Welcome to Well Past 40. Today I'm going to show you a protocol of 4 habits based on solid scientific evidence. Research shows that when these habits are combined, they amplify the effect of treatment and help stabilize blood pressure in adults over 50. And habit number 3 is the one that surprises people the most, because most people are doing the exact opposite of what they should be doing. Stay until the end, because in the final section, I'll show you how to put this protocol into practice with exact times and quantities in a simple and realistic way. Let's go. Before we get to the protocol, I need to clear up a misconception that holds a lot of people back. Most people believe that high blood pressure is a salt problem. Cut the salt, fix the pressure. That's partly true, but only partly. After 50, high blood pressure has 3 other major triggers that almost no one talks about. Arterial stiffness, which increases with age and raises blood pressure independently of salt intake. Chronic vascular inflammation, which narrows the blood vessels silently. No pain, no obvious signs. And an overactive cortisol response, which in adults over 50 fires more easily and causes temporary spikes in blood pressure, frequent enough to keep the numbers elevated in most readings. When you only cut salt and ignore these 3 factors, you're treating about a quarter of the problem. The protocol I'm about to show you works directly on all of these. It doesn't replace medical treatment, it complements and amplifies it. Here's each step. Habit number 1, the movement window, 22 minutes after lunch. I'm not talking about the gym, I'm not talking about running. I'm talking about a gentle 22-minute walk right after your main meal of the day. Studies published in the American Journal of Hypertension show that this specific window, walking after lunch, not while fasting, not at night, reduces systolic blood pressure by up to 9 millimeters of mercury in adults over 50 with moderate hypertension. Here's the mechanism. Movement after eating redirects blood flow toward the peripheral muscles, reduces the load on the central arteries, and improves insulin sensitivity, which has a direct relationship with blood pressure regulation. 22 minutes is the number the research uses. It doesn't have to be exact, but it does need to happen after lunch, and it needs to be gentle enough that you could hold a conversation while walking. Do this for 5 days in a row and measure your pressure before and after. The numbers will speak for themselves. The next habit works directly on arterial stiffness, and you probably already have what you need at home. Habit number 2, beet juice, 7 ounces on an empty stomach every morning. Sounds too simple, but the data is consistent. Beets are one of the most concentrated sources of inorganic nitrate available through food. When your body processes that nitrate, it converts it into nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes the smooth muscle in blood vessel walls, widens the internal diameter of the arteries, and reduces the resistance the heart has to overcome to pump blood. In adults over 50, where arterial stiffness is already an established factor, this mechanism has a direct impact on systolic pressure, the top number of your reading, which is typically the one most elevated in this age group. A study published in the journal Hypertension followed hypertensive adults for 4 weeks using about 8 ounces of beet juice daily. Average result: an 8 mm of mercury drop in systolic blood pressure. 7 ounces in the morning on an empty stomach. Fresh blended beet with a little water, not store-bought juice which loses most of the nitrate during processing. One heads up: beet juice can turn your urine pink or reddish. That's completely normal. It's not blood. Now, habit number 3. This is the one that surprises people most. Habit number 3, your shower temperature. Most people over 50 with high blood pressure take hot showers, very hot. And that's a silent problem. Very hot water rapidly dilates the peripheral blood vessels, which causes blood pressure to drop sharply during the shower. To compensate, the body activates the sympathetic nervous system and releases adrenaline. When you step out of the shower, your pressure climbs back up, but that sympathetic response stays active for up to 40 minutes. Repeated every single day, this cycle trains the body to keep its alert system switched on more frequently. What the evidence actually supports: a warm shower, not a hot one. Comfortable, but not hot enough to leave your skin red. And for the last 60 seconds, a transition to cool or mildly cold water, which activates the parasympathetic nervous system and produces the opposite effect: a sustained drop in blood pressure that can last up to 2 hours after your shower. It doesn't have to be ice cold. It just has to be clearly cooler than your body temperature. Those 60 seconds have more impact than they seem on paper. And the 4th habit? This one works at night when most people do nothing for their heart. Habit number 4, the nighttime decompression protocol. 8 minutes before bed. Blood pressure is supposed to drop during sleep. This is called nocturnal dipping. And in adults over 50 with hypertension, this mechanism is often compromised. When blood pressure doesn't fall during the night, the heart and blood vessels remain under load for a full 24 hours. No rest. This is one of the factors most strongly associated with silent cardiovascular complications in people who manage their pressure during the day but keep elevated numbers overnight. The 8-minute protocol that research supports is simple: lying down, eyes closed, breathing in a 4-count pattern. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6, repeat for 8 minutes. This breathing pattern, called slow diaphragmatic breathing, activates the vagus nerve, lowers circulating cortisol, and signals to the nervous system that it's safe to reduce blood pressure for the rest cycle. Studies with hypertensive adults show that this practice, done consistently for 3 weeks, improves nocturnal dipping in more than 70% of participants. 8 minutes, lying down, before sleep. If you recognized at least 2 of these habits as things you're not currently doing, what comes next is the most important part. Here's how to fit this protocol into your daily routine, simply without overhauling everything. Morning, on an empty stomach, 7 ounces of fresh blended beet juice with a small amount of water, no added sugar. Wait 15 minutes before breakfast to allow the nitrate to begin absorbing. After lunch, 22 minutes of gentle walking. You don't have to leave the house. A hallway, a backyard, a loop around the block. What matters is the movement after the meal. In the shower, every day, warm, not hot. In the last 60 seconds, transition to cool or cold water. This single adjustment produces measurable results within 2 weeks of consistency. Before bed, 8 minutes of 4-4-6 breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Lying down, lights off, no screens. Important note, this protocol is complementary to medical treatment. It does not replace prescribed medication. If you are taking antihypertensives, do not stop. Bring this protocol to your doctor and track your readings together over the coming weeks. In some people, combining these habits with medication may require a dosage adjustment, and that adjustment needs to happen under medical supervision. Today you saw a science-backed 4-habit protocol for managing high blood pressure after 50, from the post-lunch walk to the nighttime breathing routine. Each step targets a different mechanism, and it's exactly that combination that makes the difference. High blood pressure isn't a life sentence, it's a signal, and signals have answers. If this video was useful to you, please hit the like button. It helps this channel grow and reach more people who need this information. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next videos. And share this with someone over 50 you know who's dealing with high blood pressure. It might be exactly what they needed to see today. Let me know in the comments, which of these 4 habits do you already do? And which one are you going to start first? I read every comment. See you in the next video.